So we're going into another League of Infect with our month-long infection. We're gonna see if we can't do any better on our second go round of the post-astrolabe ban. First time was a bit unimpressed with the Goyfs. There wasn't really a matchup where we wanted them, but that's gonna happen sometimes when you play 5 matches. You're not gonna want all of your cards in your sideboard, so we're gonna keep with the Goyfs and see if that changes at all. See if we still want to trim on them. Other than that, we just need to not misplay as bad, and hopefully we can come out with a 3-2 or better. So many modern things, but we're hopping into a modern league. Let's go. A invisible cup. Let's go. So hand's got a Dryad Arbor, meaning it's awful, but it does have a turn 2 Blighted Agent into turn 3 +8. We'll try it. Watch this be a hand disruption deck. Okay, it's not. This one is pretty good, gives us a second threat. Meaning we can go Glistener Elf next turn. Bait out removal. Thought Scour's us. Hitting double Noble. Opponent has no idea what we're on. We know there's some Thought Scour based deck. And they're blue. Veils don't seem terrible. I'm worried it might be like Grixis Shadow. So I don't want to be bringing in these mystical disputes. We'll shave on. Scale up in the vines. And the vines. Treat it like it's Grixis Shadow. So we could go mulligan because our second land's Dryad Arbor there. No threat. Mulligan down to 5. No lands, have to go to 4. We keep. As far as what for? Those 4. Polluted Delta. A Blighted Agent there's fantastic for us. That gives us 3 different threats. Fetch, shock. Some mill. Very aggressive here. There goes a bolt. We need land groundswell. We currently have 8 damage. One's got 4 cards in hand. Scale it up. Have 2 pieces of removal, opponent. Or drown in the lock. Okay. Animate. And combat one them. And then opt shore. We could have done the veil to draw a card. But that would have triggered their threshold, right? Yeah. Opponent's got 3 in hand. And get into the attacking step. Okay, command. Okay. So we were right on Grixis. We were wrong about Death Shadow, but it's Grixis tempo, so I'm okay with how we boarded. I want a second spell skite. And we'll take out a mutagenic. No, I don't like our only threat being Ink Moth there. This is fine. It's got lots of protection. It doesn't have any threat, but that's okay. Keep bottom. Bottom Pierce. Misty Rainforest pass the turn. Crack that for a tapped breeding pool. Pendlehaven there's real good. Double green spell skite. Now we just need to draw a threat. Shocks in. Thought scours us. Dang, we milled over a threat. Watery Grave shocks it in, meaning they have a drown in the lock here. There's an Inkmoth Nexus. And we pass the turn. Double blue. Place down there 2-1. So we have animate, scale up, veil. I'll take 2. Because we don't necessarily need veil because we can redirect. Blighted Agent as backup. Animate. Scale it up. Waiting to see if this resolves. Opponent's thinking. They've got 6 cards in hand, so I'm assuming that they've got interaction. Whether it be push, bolt, or... Could be push, bolt, K command, drown in the lock. Any of those 4 pieces of interaction are pretty good for them. If it's K command, we definitely Veil of Summer. If it's bolt, we definitely just redirect. Okay. Swing 6 Infect. Watch us get blown out. They crack here. They shock, so they have the K command, and they're gonna shatter shock. Why would you? Yeah. If you had done shatter shock, I can't redirect. Okay. So opponent threw that game. I would love to take the play. Mulligan. The problem is, this is a tempting one lander. But we only run 20 some odd sources. So odds are by the time that we want to go off on turn 2, we will not have drawn it in the one that we have. No lands, have to mold a 4. Drop. 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 Oh no, this is opponent's first match of Modern. They're on Tron for their first match of Modern. All right. Well, boys, we've got ourselves a match here. Tron versus Infect. Let's see if it's E-Tron and they have the Chalice on one to absolutely hose us. Okay. So if opponent here has Tron land, I don't know what they do. If they're E-Tron and they have the Chalice, you obviously drop that on one. If they don't, I mean, they kept a hand with map, so it's probably 2 Tron pieces plus map to get the third. Yep. Meaning we ideally need not that. Give it +4/+4. Cool. Swing for 5, hit them for 5 Infect. If we rip a land off the top, we have them dead next turn. They may have Tron here. Well, they have Tron here. But they've got 2 threats to deal with. And since one's a land, it's very hard for them to deal with. And 1 swoop. Okay, they get power plant. Weird that's not showing me the art of the power plant. But so they turn on Tron. There we go. They now have 7 mana. I'm assuming we're seeing Big Daddy liberated. Reality Smasher. Okay, so this is E-Tron. Meaning we want to bring in our Force of Vigors. Force of Vigors. Maybe even Goyfs here. just because Goyf doesn't die to Ballista, and Goyf can do a pretty decent job at blocking everything except Reality Smasher. And a Maze Mind Tome. Okay. I'm assuming they're going to swing for 5. Yep. No blocks. It's funny how land off the top wins us this in... Oh. Or scale up. Blight Agent is green. Blight Agent can't be blocked. And so we know we want these Force of Vigors. We'll also bring in these Goyfs. We could bring in the Dismembers. These Spell Pierces don't really do much, so we'll board those out. We definitely want Become Immense to stay in. Shave on Scale Up. Shave on 2 Vines. Cut a Growth. They don't have much that targets. I mean, they'll have Dismembers and Spatial Contortion. Maybe Warping Wheel. But I think this is fine. So this hand is just threat after threat after threat. I don't think we keep this from the aspect of it doesn't win quickly. And if we're not winning quickly against D-Tron, we're losing. So we will go ahead and mulligan this. Hand's got 2 Force of Vigors, 1 land, however. I still think this is a keep. Bottom Distortion Strike. Say done. Because this way, if they have Chalice on 1, they go like map turn 1, Chalice on 1, turn 2, we can go Force of Vigor, blow them both up. Land pass. So we do not fetch here just to make our odds a slightly better in pulling off a land off the top for a second draw. Okay, well there's 2 and there's a tome. Okay. And that's why we do that. We will fetch for a forest. And then we will fetch for a breeding pool. Infect, go, 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 go. Yeah, right? Infect versus E-Tron. Hoping they don't just have the natural Tron since they didn't have any piece to get to it. But we all know how that hope always works out, right? It's Tron. They always have it. Okay, scry 1. And where does the scry go? Bottom. Cool. This is opponent's first ever match of Modern, so I'm cutting them slack as far as time's concerned. Eldrazi Temple, so that's good for us. It's not great because it's still 4 Eldrazi mana, which means Thought-Knot Seer could be coming down here. Looks like they're trying to draw a card off of the tome. And fine by us. And I only have 2 Eldrazi mana. We could force here, but I don't feel that's right. Scale up? That's not scale up. That's fine. Cast Might of Old Krosa. Cool. Pendlehaven or bust. Pendlehaven would have done it there. I mean, I still feel we're in a pretty good spot if this connects. Which it does, and now second main we can drop this Goyf to have ourselves a blocker. Because we can instant speed force something to grow Goyf by putting an artifact into the yard. Not going to be useful from the aspect of the only thing that they can really do at this point is Reality Smasher or Thought-Knot Seer. Thought-Knot takes this Might of Old Krosa, which is not good for us, but so they've got one more use of that tome before it goes away. They put whatever card on top. They drew it. Another mine, so 5 mana. This could be a Reality Smasher, which we're fine with. Mutagenic. Let's go ahead and try to stick this Might of Old Krosa. Trying to pay costs. Looks like Dismember. Yep. That'll happen. Puts creature into the yard. Go ahead and animate the Ink Moth. Pay 2 life. Get in for 3 Infect and 3 normal. We go to 8 poison counters. Any pump spell off the top will get us there. As long as they don't have a chalice, but we can force pitching force. Okay, their Maze Mine Tome goes into the graveyard, growing Argoyf. Oh, it gets exiled. Yeah. Forgot that Maze Mine Tome exiles itself there. So we've got them on a 2-turn clock with this Ink Moth. So they need a way to deal with it. They have 6 Eldrazi mana, 3 cards in hand. And 4 mana here. They put whatever card that they had on the bottom. Hmm. 3 cards, 4 mana. Only thing I could think of here is a Thought-Knot Seer. Okay, and they go for this route instead. 5 mana. Reality Smasher. Cool. They've got us on a 3-turn clock. We've got them on a 2-turn clock. Unless they have second Dismember. Holds the Smasher back. Smasher doesn't have reach. And try to go for the kill. Wishing our opponent best of luck for the rest of their matches. There we go. Luckily got that. They didn't have Chalice on 1 there, although we had interaction for it, which then just kind of sat dead in our hand. So far, post Astrolabe ban's not looking terrible for Infect. Well, yeah, our first league of the week was a 2-3. Our second league starting off on a 2-0 is pretty good. One land, 2 threats and protection. Still mulligan. We will keep bottoming Grove. From the aspect of Spell Pierce might be good. Misty Rainforest pass the turn. They crack their fetch land. Grabs a breeding pool. Second flooded strand, okay. We'll go Inkmoth Nexus past the turn. I want to be able to have Blighted Agent plus protection spell here. Okay, so it's banned something. Green, green, blue, Uro. Yep. Uro goes pop. Fetch land? We will hold off on this Glistener Elf in case they have the Supreme Verdict. Which they now have Supreme Verdict mana off of getting that Hollowed Fountain. Plays a Field of Ruin. Path. No, thank you. Mana leaks. Okay. Your path happens, I guess. We'll get a forest. The Spell Pierce is looking worse and worse as this game goes on, but kind of sort of tends to just be the case with that card. We will go Hierarch, we will go Glistener Elf, we will pass the turn. Can't control. Plays out another land. They've got lots of lands. Green, green, blue, blue. They can get Uro. Green, green, blue, blue, Uro. Have up mana to path. Okay. That's exactly what their plan is here, and we've got the Spell Pierce to blow out this path. Unless they have a land in hand. They do. So I want to leave up 2 mana. We can animate, swing in for 2, try to bait out a path. Or the Field of Ruin. Opponent's just gonna take 2. I don't want to commit that hard because we know that they have Path in hand and 2 unknowns. So they go ahead and go for this Field of Ruin again. I don't know why you wouldn't. I guess to stop us if we have Pump Spell. Opponent's got more mana than God knows what to do with. Make your path cost 3 mana. Ooh. One's got 2 cards in hand. Problem is, this is Cryptic mana, and that's another path. This is why I dislike Mystic Sanctuary, from the fact that it can be grabbed off of a fetch land. Arrow gets in. They draw the path. We really don't have an out at this point. Let's draw one more card, see if we can't overload. I'm not playing that out. Because they counter this, they path this one, we have no outs. Yeah. Okay, Mystical Disputes definitely come in here. Fails as well. Spellskite as well. So we're bringing in 6. Distortion Strikes can come out. For the most, it's a Bant, so they might have Ice Fangs. We might need those, actually. We can shave on the growth, shave on some vines. Shave vines, shave scale up. And do like so. Yeah. No threat. Threat, protection, protection, Spellskite, 2 lands. Can't play this Mystical Dispute, but that's fine. Because we need to bottom a card anyway. Lead off with Pendlehaven Glistener Elf. Fail doesn't get past. Ooh, a tapped blue land's very good for us. We want scale up off the top here. Called it. Onwards to game 3. Unless they have the Force of Negation. They could have Force of Negation. I mean, I guess we'll make it uncounterable. So it's not a turn to... So they pitched an Uro, meaning they probably have a second Uro. If we go for this Might of Old Krosa, then we're out of pump. If we go for this swing over 2 turns, okay, they play out their Ice Fang. They go for the block. Give our creature +1/+2. And play out second Glistener Elf. Pass turn. Opponent now has Archmage's Charm online. Misty Rainforest there is very good for us. And plays out another Ice Fang. We'll go ahead and crack and shock. And play out this Spellskite. Opponent's at 7 Infect. They crack a Flooded Strand and get a Hollowed Fountain tapped. So they could now have Verdict mana. Oh no, not with that. That is a Mind Sculptor. Return target creature. I would like you to target Spellskite instead. Would you look at that? 4 mana return Spellskite to hand isn't good enough. Yep. At that point when they played that Jace, it's like, you're good. How goes your league? Or are we playing League of Legends and not a Magic League? League of Legends, good luck. I am too, that's why I don't play. Okay, so we've got 1 land, 1 threat. We will go ahead and mulligan this down to 6. 3 threats, counter magic, and pump. Yeah, we keep this. As far as what we bottom? Groundswell? We will fetch and shock. Get down this breeding pool. Hoping to bait out. I don't have the MTG bot because I'm too lazy to set it up at the moment. But Groundswell is an instant, which gives target creature +2/+2 landfall. If it landed into this battlefield this turn, it gets +4/+4 instead. So they now have enough to go for a... Ooh, that's really good for us. Because now we can Might of Old. And if their answer isn't... Actually, we just swing and see if their answer is Codal here. Because I really don't want to get hit by a Teferi. So they take one Infect. I know how to set it up. I'm too lazy to. Hold up this Mystical Dispute. All you gotta do is log in. I mean, yeah, but I've done that and it didn't work. Or do you have to log in every single time? Just once. So in theory, it should be working. I believe it's a mod. It's not even showing up in chat. So land, combat, swing. They block. They have path. For the other one, we can pump to save. Second Ice Fang. It's the same. You want to block like that? That is true. Give the one that's being blocked +2/+2. Take our opponent to 2 Infect. Not great, but now they didn't get the draw. They got a counterspell out of our hand though. So now let's see 3 Fairy. Just trading is not terrible. I want to animate my Inkmoth Nexus. It still gets destroyed, but I want to animate it. Opponent now has 2 blue mana. So if we Might of Old and Blossoming Defense, we win. If they get to resolve. I'm assuming opponent doesn't want to take this 6 here. So if they have the path, which they've been threatening this entire time. Okay. We will just pass. Because they have up Verdict mana. And that's why. We'll just take the natural draw. We don't need the draw for this Waterlogged Grove. And play this Blighted Agent and pass the turn. So now we have Vines to give our thing hexproof during their turn. There is no point at which they can remove this card that we do not have interaction to keep it up. Unless they have double interaction on their turn. Go for the blossoming defense for the win. Let's see if they have path. Mana leak. Yeah, it's like this mana leak's fine. Let's just make it all happen on the stack. Cool. And there we go. Beating out Bant Control. Because by doing it this way, it forced them to either have another interaction spell on the top. I mean, either way. Path's instant speed, we're like basically just say, show me you have removal. And then we're holding up the vines. For the additional draw off the Waterlogged Grove, we don't get to find out because I was too slow. Unfortunate. 3-0 with Infect. All right. Let's see if we can't keep this going. You know, when Infect gets to work, it's great. But sometimes when they just have all the removal in the world, it is not fun. Also, fun things with green screens. Invisible water cup. I have a green cup. Right? So this hand's extremely land heavy, but it also has double threat plus hierarch and a pump spell. So we just need to draw running pumps, which is not hard for this deck to do. All right. This might not have been the hand to keep against the Tron matchup. Nice. We go ahead and we land this hierarch in case this is E-Tron and they have the chalice on one. I want to be able to get this blighted agent down. Ghost Quarter. Why do I have to be right? Why do I do this to myself? Yeah, I mean, 5-turn clock is still pretty good if they don't have more interaction. And we do have the Becomaments that we can rip off the top. Of course they have Blast Zone. They just ping off this blighted agent, then we do nothing. We draw that, they Ghost Quarter it. Right? So they obviously play Ballista, ping off our blighted agent. We would draw the Nexus. We'd try to bait out the Ghost Quarter as long as possible. But We're not winning that match. Okay, Force of Vigors come in. We can bring in the Goyfs as decent blockers. Again, Spell Piercers aren't that great. They're not terrible, but they're not amazing. We've got a bit of interaction, so we'll keep in one Spellskite. We won't bring in the additional. Definitely shave on our 1-drops here. I don't know if shaving the Pierces is what we want to be doing, from the aspect of Pierce is a very strong card early game. Yeah, we'll try it. Okay, we will take the play. Yeah, it's like we just need to be fast. This hand looks eerily familiar. However, this hand's keepable because we can bottom that card. Fetch and shock. Play out this hierarch. Pass the turn. Missing pump spells, but that's fine. There's a map. Hopefully that means no Chalice on turn 2, but that's not always the case. Blue 1, Blighted Agent, pass the turn. Well, there's 2 pieces. Pump spell? So they'll have turn 3. We go Blossoming Defense, Spellskite. We can then I like that play. Arguably it should have been. Yep. Should have played the Spellskite first. That's fine. It means that they're not doing map stuff this turn, so now we play out second agent. Ballista on 1, because why wouldn't they? I got punished super hard there by my own volition. Play out the Spellskite. That's now too little too late. We can combat, get in for 1. They crack map, go get tower to play tower, then they have Smasher. Or do they have Chalice on 1? No, they have map, crack map, get another tower. Or they... Why? I know I misplayed and got punished hard for it. But why do they have to have it all? Ugh. That's just frustrating. Contortion, Ballista, Chalice. Tower, they have 8 mana. Ugin the Ineffable, and now what? I'm not beating this Chalice on one. We're just not winning. So 2 turns we would have been able to play a Goyf, at which point they'd then exile it with Ugin. Then we wouldn't be doing anything, we'd be dead. Yeah. Okay. So that's always my luck with the Eldrazi-Tron matchup. Definitely should have done Spell Skype first on that turn, because then that forces the Spatial Contortion then in there. We don't waste our Blossoming Defense, and then we just pass. Now if they had the Chalice on 1, they would have gone Chalice on 1 instead of Ballista on 1. But then we could play our... Yeah, then we could play our dude. And then they'd have 7 mana, so they could put Ballista on 3, ping it 3 times. We'd redirect to Spellskite, taking 6 damage to do so. Spellskite would be alive. Blighted Agent would be alive. We'd have them on a 5-turn clock. We still don't. I still don't think we get there with what our draws were going to be. I would love the play. Let's see if we can't end this on a 4-1. Hand's got a threat. It's got a Hierarch. It's got Arbor. Arbor in hand is always terrible. But that's fine. This will be a fetch, shock, Hierarch, pass turn. Gemstone Mine, so probably Ad Nauseam. Dryad Arbor, Glistener Elf, pass turn. Pump spell off the top does it for us. What, do they have Pact of Negation and they're gonna Angel's Grace to save themselves? So let's see. Basic Forest. Is this Amulet? Swing for 10 Infect. Cool. So we saw Gemstone Mine and Forest. Gemstone Mine is a very telling card. Force of Vigor is a card we want in either of those matchups. Spell Pierce is fine in both of those matchups too. I think it's Shaved Vines. Yeah. Because this is either Amulet or... I really doubt it's Ad Nauseam. Ad Nauseam does not run a basic forest, so that very much has me leaning on Amulet. So maybe these Dismembers actually come in over like 2 growths. But we'll wait and see what they are. We'll cautiously board. Snap this off. Snow-covered forests, Tribe Scout, Amulet. Okay. We were right on the money there. Shock in, Glistener Elf, pass turn. Yeah, it definitely was the correct play. I went with the other route of show me you have removal, and then we could play out the other creature that we had in hand. And then since they didn't have removal, then we went all in because they couldn't touch it. But you're absolutely right. The correct play is to go, if we're planning on going in, keep the defense and try to go in first. Make it so that way it's close to lethal. So they have this Ghost Quarter, which they're going to hold up for forever. Yeah, we would have, because we had Mutagenic. We could have taken it to 10, and then they would have had to remove it. Do we swing with this Glistener Elf? No. Yeah, we still got our end result, but engineered on 2, and then that's gonna be instantly blown up. That's why you don't have 6, buddy. Get in for 8. Simic Growth Chamber bounces something. Breeding Pool K. Didn't float mana with it. This Ghost Quarter needs to hit this Pendelhaven or they lose on the spot. Make it lethal. Cool. So we got there because opponent misplayed. Unfortunate. Because again, in Paper Magic, I'd go Force of Vigor targeting your thing, and then they have to debate They probably would have popped it there, and then we would have been able to do nothing. We could have gotten in for 3 with a Inkmoth Nexus. And so again, that's one of those. We got this 4-1 because of paper magic versus online magic.